So, going to the software, because not only is the machine updated, the software is also updated. If we take a look at access control, this is the new access control, compatible with the 3X as well. As a heightened security on the machine, we need to have a way of displaying this to the operator as well. Now that's why we have here a simulated stack light on the left hand side of the screen. Now it's green, it means the machine is okay, everything can move, everything can, or it's cutting. So green means okay. We have a status which is red, which means okay, there's something wrong. Somebody tripped the safety, or an error occurred. This is displayed by red. We have yellow. Yellow means there is an interaction necessary by the operator. Could be please press online or change your material. And blue means it's feeding on, or somebody pressed pause. And there is a last one, which is white. And white is a very specific one that it only lights up in certain specific moments. At this time, there are not that many functionalities addressed to the white light, but in future, we will use this white light for other functionalities to indicate certain things to the, let's say, operator. Now, okay, access control, we will not use this a lot, but as you can see, if you install the latest version, which will be available soon, you will see all these squares appear, and all of a sudden you see all these colors changing. That means that the machine is working, and there are certain information being shared to the operator. Now, Summa Go Produce. Recently we launched version 2.0. There are a couple of things I'd like to talk about in version 2.0. A couple of things I like, especially on the new features. First of all, if you have let's say a specific configuration that does not have all the tools, upon installing Go Produce, you will get the functionality of choosing which tools the customer has. If the customer has a certain set of tools, you select them, and when he uses certain materials, he will not get, let's say, the preferred tool for that material. Instead, he will get a tool which you just selected. So if you're, for instance, have an operator, sorry, I have a customer that uses a 3mm PVC or 5mm PVC, and he does not have a router module, it will not propose, hey, use your router module. No, instead he will, let's say, propose to use the heavy-duty cutout tool. So if we take a quick look at how this works, so if I import this PDF, you can see, okay, it's set to crease. Let me set to true cut. And if I change, so my default material is corrugated cardboard. Let's go to expanded PVC board 5mm. Here you can see there is a heavy-duty cutout tool, and for the other tools, so the router tools are all grayed out. This is because if we look here under devices, which is a new tab, if I do edit, I don't have these tools, let's say, activated. I can activate them by clicking on the tool, but if I don't have that tool, why would I? If I click on this, they will become active in my, let's say, material manager. If I deactivate them, they will be grayed out and will not be used as a proposal for your material. So this is, again, another step by Summa to, let's say, improve user friendliness in the software. We will not force you or propose you tools which you do not have. Another nice tool, another nice action that we added, not a tool, is when you import a file and you're not using the SGP file format, so you don't have any media information available within the file, you can easily select the default material. So if I quickly show here this and I edit, you will see there is an additional action available here, set default material. by adding this, you can select what material you're going to assign this import file to. So if you have a customer which has like 2 or 3 materials he's using, you can easily set up import for PVC, import for textile, import for self-adhesive vinyl. So by doing this, each time he uses that action set, he imports and immediately the media is set correctly. So this is a way of automating his process, making it, let's say, easier, reducing the amount of errors generated by the operator. Now, what we have here is textile, so I'm going to import that file. I just need to check what file I have. So I have import 29 open. So this is my file. So it takes a bit of time to convert everything. It's already converted. Doesn't not take that long. It's just a second. The only thing I notice here is that it did not change my, because I probably used the wrong material. So I'm changing quickly to SEG because that's my default material. It's just like so. So if we look furthermore, there is just one method defined, which is ThroughCut, and this is assigned to the rotary module. Now, if we output this, let's press output to roll. We have a couple of options that we need to discuss. One of the options is the compensation mode, which is very important, specifically in textile. People who have navigated Go Produce have noticed that in compensation mode you have 3 options. By default it's set to best fit. However, what are the other 2? Best fit, smart compensation, and fixed size. Well, best fit means you're going to adapt your cut data. Yeah, okay, sorry, I was waving. You will adapt your cut data that you have designed to the deformation of your print. So if you have several points there, it will deform this. Now, smart compensation is an updated version of the standard best fit, because smart compensation is something specifically focused on very, let's say, flexible materials, which are like textiles. Textiles are very flexible, so you get a very irregular deformation. Now with smart compensation, what we do here is that we actually take all the registration marks, and all those registration marks will get involved with the deformation. Whereas in the best fit, we will not use all that information. If you add, let's say, 20 registration marks to a file, per object cut, there's only a limited amount of registration marks used to calculate where that piece is. If you use smart compensation, the more marks you put, the more accurate it becomes. So if you have a very, very strongly deformed printout, use smart compensation, and you will notice that it will actually follow that deformation quite accurately. Now, looking to the third option, which is fixed size, this is basically what we need for this application. Why? Well, this textile will be installed into a frame. So to be installed into a frame, that frame has a size. We can't deform that frame at all. We can't make it bigger, we can't make it smaller. That frame is an exact designed size. Well, what are we going to do as a designer? We are going to make that design to that frame itself. Once we have those measurements, we have the template, we want to cut this. If we were to, let's say, have the registration marks used to deform our shape, our design, that would mean if our material expanded, it's going to be bigger. If you're going to fit that into a frame, it's going to sag. If it's going to be contracted, what will happen is it's going to be stretched and your design will be deformed when you put it into that frame. No, we want to have the exact size. So what we do is with fixed size, we are going to measure the registration marks, and with those registration marks we're going to define where our cut will be located, the best possible position. Now once we do that, from there on we will keep the size that we have designed. Now, here, it's very important that you realize if your material expands, you will not have any white border. If your media contracts and you do not have enough bleed, you will have white borders at the edge. Why? Because your printout became smaller. If it becomes smaller, then you will have white edges. This is a very common discussion that I have with users who like to put their cut lines right at the edge, not using any bleed on textile, and then complain, hey, I see a white edge. Yeah, but look at how much your media shrunk. If you're going to do a fixed size and your media shrinks, you'll get a white edge. So this is important to realize if you do fixed size, is that you need to take into account that there will be a certain bleed necessary. So I just switched to fixed size. I need to press update preview and I can press run. Now I'd like to remark here, you will see that we're not using the standard registration marks. This is not because of a setting in Caldera. This is how our customer, how the partner that printed this worked. So he likes to optimize his material usage, and he is using a different type of mark, a mark that he puts into the bleed of his material. Now, if we look at how our system works, let me just navigate this to the first registration mark. Oh, that was me. I'm not that good at setting my first mark, apparently. If you select your first mark, you'll immediately see that it recognizes this. This is because within GoProduce, there is a feature to make color profiles or camera profiles. These camera profiles will actually help you detect certain registration marks. So now it's just moving it forward to have the maximum yield of the table. So from the point it measured, it will just continue. So it's just reading the marks. So let us read the marks. So as you can see, it is nicely reading everything. Once it read the first segment, it will start cutting. You can see here we put a couple of baskets here. Now you will see it in the other view. Why? Well, we're working with textiles. These baskets will help us catch everything that we cut. It is not the standard basket for the 3232. It is actually a basket that is designed for the 1612, 1.6 meter, which is basically half of this table. So 1612, put two baskets in front, and you have a nice catching device.